Welcome back. Good look outside live look outside the BYU Broadcasting Building at the Marriott Center next door, where BYU plays basketball. Nice fall colors as fall descends on Provo. I'm Jarom Jordan. Welcome back to the second annual BYU Basketball Media Day. One of the most anticipated players returning to this year's team is certainly this man that we're going to chat with in a moment, Tyler Haws. If you have questions for Tyler, tweet them using hashtag BYUtv Sports. Post them on Facebook.com/BYUtv Sports and put them in the chat on BYUtvsports.com. This building was under construction when you left, and now it's up. What do you think?
It's awesome. It's a beautiful building. I came back and was kind of amazed by it. Big glass building, so it's nice.
We built it for you to get back. So
Great.
We're glad you're back so we can use it to its full capacity. Let's start with this. What's your full name and why were you named that?
My full name is Martin Tyler Haws. So my first name's not actually Tyler. And I'm named after my dad. So.
And number 3, why number 3?
You know, I was 23 growing up. I've been 23 my whole life, and just decided it's time for a change after the Mish.
And your freshman year, you went with 23, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you switched 3 for this year. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
You went on a mission to the Philippines. I guess just tell us a little bit how that was, and was there anyone your height?
No, there wasn't anyone my height. They're really small people, but they're some of the most amazing people I've ever met in my whole life, and being able to serve for those 2 years was a great opportunity and a great experience for me.
Going into your mission, the church did some videos on you and kind of showed what that experience was like. What was it like for you to, in those intimate moments, I mean, we're seeing you and your family crying in the van, going to the MTC.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of chronicled, but cool for people to see what that's actually like.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm very grateful that they did that video, and there's been lots of good that have come from that. And even though it kind of was awkward and kind of hard in those last moments being with the family, I think it's done a lot of good for a lot of the youth in the church.
Absolutely. So in the Philippines, I guess just give us a feel for what it's like to live in the Philippines and how you were able to maintain a little bit of basketball skill during there, if any. You
know, they love basketball in the Philippines. Almost on every corner there's a different basket and lots of kids playing, and they'll play in flip-flops or bare feet. So we'd get a bunch of people together on preparation day and play. And
half court only though, right?
Half court only, yeah, unfortunately. But, you know, over in the Philippines, it's really hot. It's a really tropical climate. Where I was in Quezon City, and so it was lots of people, lots of sound, lots of noise. You know, the Filipino people, they don't have a lot. It's a third world country, but they're some of the most happy people I've ever met.
Your dad, Marty, of course, played at BYU from 86 to 90, ended up being an all-conference point guard. How much influence has he had on your game and development, having been not only a player here, but, hey, he can rebound with you, coach you right there?
Now, he's been a huge influence in my life, not only on the court, but off the court. I feel like we're best friends and can talk about anything, and I really cherish my relationship with my dad. But as far as basketball goes, he's been there from day one, helping me get better and kind of been my mentor growing up, so I'm very grateful for him.
Your freshman year is 09-10. You go to the second round of the NCAA tournament. You have that memorable victory against Florida and all that. Mm-hmm. Your eye was messed up from the Mountain West Conference tournament, so you could barely see. But your free throw streak will be much talked about, and as we see some highlights here. Here's how old you are. We have standard definition footage of you. We don't have any HD footage of you. We'll get plenty this year, but we had to bust out the HD wings here. Your freshman year, you average 11 points per game on a team with 5 1,000-point scores, either then or later. That was a really, really good team in hindsight, your freshman season.
It was a great team. You know, having lots of great players around. It was a great experience for me just being a freshman, being able to come in and help contribute. I feel like I can score in many different ways, so you know, even though there was lots of scores, I found ways to help and contribute.
You end up being the third leading scorer, I believe, on that team. Well, how do you fit in there, and how do you hope to fit in maybe a little differently now? Because then it was, talented freshmen. Hopefully we can get a good contribution. But this year you came off your mission, but there's great expectations for you this year.
For sure. No, I think my role my freshman year, it was kind of I'm going to spot up and be a three-point threat. But I'm hoping to expand my game and show different parts of my game this year. And we've got all the tools for a really great season.
What month did you get back home?
I got back in April.
April. And you've been on this set. You were on True Blue in April.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So you you took it easy. You did something that some other players maybe did not and caused them injury. Mm-hmm. I guess tell us about kind of the progress and process of coming home from a mission. Make sure you don't injure yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a good game plan going into it. The coaches said we don't want you playing any pickup ball or any full court stuff for at least a couple of months. So that's what I did. I just worked on getting my legs back and getting that strength back, and I did. I took it easy, but I feel like I've worked really hard and gotten back to where I was, and so I'm feeling really, really good right now.
How hard was it not to play?
It was hard. It was difficult, but I knew it was going to be better in the long run. I'm not taking that risk of injury right up front, and feel like it was the right way to go. So
you come back now several months later in time for the season. The timing was good to be able to get out right at. You had your call at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You get out, you get to come back. Times are a little different now. Saturday, the announcement of 18-year-olds can go on missions. Would you still have come to BYU, I guess, if you could have gone when you were 18, or would you have come play your freshman year, you think?
I probably would have gone straight out, and I think that's going to be the way of the church now, as kids are going to graduate and go, and I think with athletes it kind of makes sense to come back and play 4 straight years. But I'm grateful for the way I did it, and I was able to get some experience right out of high school, and so I like my situation.
Jimmer Fredette in that year explodes while you're on your mission. Mm-hmm. How much did you hear about that, and what did you think of that? Because you played with Jimmer, you knew Jimmer.
I did, yeah. I heard a little bit about it. My dad kept me informed on P-Day with emails and things, but I heard about Jimmer a lot with the members too. Some members would find out I played basketball, and they were like, "Do you know Jimmer Fredette?" And it's like, "Yeah, I do know Jimmer."
You're like, Jimmer knows me.
Jimmer knows me. That's right. But it was pretty crazy. Jimmer made it all the way to the Philippines, and so I knew he must have been doing some big things back here.
Let's see. Scott Nelson said, "Tyler, are you sad you missed the Jimmer year? Would you have gotten us to the Final Four that year?"
Gosh, no. It would have been really fun and to be a part of that team and to make a run at the Final Four. But I wouldn't trade my mission experience for anything, and I feel like it's helped me grow up and become who I'm supposed to be, and that was something I had to do. So,
as a player, you have a unique streak going. You shot 91.7% your freshman year. You're currently sitting on 48 consecutive free throws in a row. And Kyle Chilton, that's number 1 all time at BYU. That's the longest streak ever. Kyle's here to fact check locally and tell me if it's Nate Austin's birthday. 48 in a row. I know you've been asked about this, but you carry this streak over a 2.5-year time. That first free throw is going to be a little interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. But I've shot enough of them that I'm just going to get up there and shoot it, and whatever happens, happens. But I want it to go in.
Absolutely. You were born in Belgium, which is a little interesting. Was your dad playing professionally in Europe?
He was playing over there. Yep.
And you eventually migrate to Alpine Highland area, play at Lone Peak. You're one of 3 dudes that went to Lone Peak. Mm-hmm. How fun is that to play with your high school teammates?
It's awesome. I was kind of nervous coming back because it's a completely different team, but I feel like, just having a few high school teammates on the team has made it really a comfortable situation. And this is a special group of guys for sure, and we all get along on and off the court. So,
Scott Nelson, in regards to free throw, says, What do you do to always make the free throw?
I have my routine that I do, but I try and not think too much. I try and kind of zone the crowd out, get the crowd out of my head, and just go up there and shoot it, not think too much.
You've had some time off a mission to get ready for the season, but Bobby Thurman was wondering, ever think of redshirting to get 1 year of adjustment under your belt?
No, I put my papers in early, so I could get out right as the season ended, and so I would have 6 months to come back and get back in shape. And so the plan has always been to come back and get ready to play again.
What Thurman asks again, another question. He says, what do you see as your place or role on the current team?
I think of myself as a leader on this team and someone who can bring some leadership and some experience to this group of guys. And I feel like I'm a guy who wants to win and will just fight you to the very, very end. So
I was told that for the fitness test on the team, you won was it the mile run?
The mile run,
for the
yeah.
team. Okay, so what was that test in August?
It was in September.
September.
I think. Yep.
1 mile. How fast did you run?
1 mile. I ran it in 5:02.
5:02. 4 months off mission.
4 months off the mesh. Mm-hmm.
Is that a personal best or did?
That is a personal best. I was actually kind of surprised when they told me my time. I was just trying to keep up with Josh Sharp. Actually, was kind of my pace guy, and I was trying to keep up with him, and then I barely caught him at the end. But I feel like I've really tried hard to get myself conditioned and ready to go for the season, and so it was cool to be able to do that.
Talking with Tyler Haws, return missionary sophomore forward for BYU, guard / forward. So Sharp finishes second. Who finishes third in that mile?
I think I want to say it was Craig or Cooper.
Who finished last?
I don't know. I can't. They probably wouldn't want me to say that.
I'm still intrigued. Let's see. Michael O says, though you're only a sophomore, do you feel you need to be a leader on this year's team?
For sure. No, I feel like I need to bring some leadership. I've played on a really good team my freshman year, and I feel like I've gained lots of leadership experience in my mission as well. And I'm ready to step in and help lead this team.
What do you think of the newly improved locker room?
Gosh, that thing is amazing compared to our old locker room. It's a big step up, and I think it's a big sign of where this program's going. There's some big things coming in the future, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
How have you handled all the change of West Coast Conference play, ESPN, BYUtv, and the Marriott Center's renovated? There's a lot of new exciting things going on now that you've come back. Kind of the timing's been good for you in that way.
Mm-hmm. For sure. No, I'm excited to play in the West Coast Conference, and there's lots of exciting things that have happened since I was gone, and it's going to be a great year this year.
Absolutely. And you're a guy that played a couple years ago. People are familiar with your name. How do you plan on improving going into this season? Because 11 points per game as a freshman, people are going to naturally go, okay, 15 a game, something like that. Do you have individual goals for yourself to help the team that way?
For sure. I have some individual goals, but I just want to help this team win in whatever way I can, whether that's scoring or being a leader, or just on defense, just any way I can. I want to help contribute and help win some games. So.
Okay, well, best of luck to you. We're excited that you're back, and we expect great things.
Thanks, Jarom.
Thanks a lot. Tyler Haws here on BYU Basketball Media Day on BYUtvsports.com. Up next, Craig Cusick, walk-on point guard, who became a really important piece of last year's team. We look forward to talking to Craig here in a few moments. Submit your questions. We'll chat with Craig Cusick in a moment here on Basketball Media Day.